Hills Foods, we work with a lot of local farms right outside of Vancouver area. This particular duck, this is a farm-raised mallard duck from the Aldergrove region, just outside of Vancouver. We work with a local farmer, his name is Dave Teason, and he raises this specialty breed, and we get it for about 4 weeks a year. It's unique in that it has feet on, head on, which we refer to as an Asian style. Asian tradition is to keep the head and feet on in their culinary approach to this particular duck. We don't only carry the mallard duck, we also have the Pekin duck, the magret duck breast, and the duck leg confit. This particular mallard is a little smaller than those and amazingly delicate in flavor. And the fat content is similar to that of a Pekin, but when you taste the delicate flavor of this duck, the breast so tender when it's cooked, just so rare, and the legs when they're confit, slow braise on the legs, magnificent duck. And some of the top chefs in the city, they want to get this. And one of those chefs is Scott Jaeger from the Pear Tree Restaurant.
You see, this is the Teason Farm duck. Beautiful small size, gorgeous for a two-portion kind of a meal. You know, you can serve the leg and the breast without it being too much. From a restaurant point of view, it's just a gorgeous little portion. We'll remove the legs here. We're going to confit them. So that's a little bit of prep you have to do in advance. Just pulling the legs off here. So all this fat around the edge, this is the fat we're going to use to confit. So we'll basically remove all that. And we can render that down, and that'll be the fat that we use to confit. Making confit, it works best to do a fair bit at a time and pick the right vessel. You need a pot that will allow you to use the least amount of fat but keep it completely submerged. Here with the breasts, again, small little duck, not typical for duck. Usually we see a lot more meat on a duck. You can also notice with this duck, it is quite lean. Ducks certainly are a fattier product. These ones here, very lean. Work our way around the wishbone. We could leave the wing on, but for me, we're going to take it right off. This carcass we're going to reserve. Make a stock. We'll remove the head. We don't use the head for the stock. All this fat will basically go through and pull off, render it down, roast the bones. That's going to become our sauce. The prep for the breast, I tend to remove the tender on these little guys just so that it doesn't get overcooked, and we use something separate for that. We'll pull that aside, basically cleaning it up. This is worth an extra minute, getting a bit of the silver skin and all the bits. It's a beautiful tender duck to eat, but the only thing that'll get in the way is kind of a bit of the silver skin, or underneath here, this little kind of windpipe that's in there. You make sure that comes out. Just cleaning it up, pulling all this fat off of here. Keeping that breast shape. Again, all that stuff is what we're going to render down for our confit. From the front side, I'm just going to give a little kind of cross pattern. It's just going to allow a bit of the fat to escape when we're doing the sear. So to cure the leg, we would cure this, we leave the cure on for about 12 hours. So here we have our poultry cure of sugar and salt, a little citrus, star anise, tiny bit of coriander, a little bit of cinnamon in there as well. Basically, we're applying it to everywhere. So this cure, again, it's everywhere, and it's very, very heavy. This cure, we're going to get the chance to wash off, so we're able to apply a little extra. So we can apply quite a bit and leave it for 12 hours. You could apply half as much and leave it for 24 or 48 hours. We are going to wash it off, completely dry it, so that salt will go away. We're trying to get it to penetrate. The cure on the breast, on the other hand, we're going to leave that cure on. Here we have, again, sugar, salt, there's a tiny bit of star anise ground up in there. And this is essentially like seasoning it, but we're seasoning it a bit in advance, probably about an hour, 2 hours in advance, which is something you want to be careful doing, putting the salt on the meat. You need to then make sure you're cooking it within the time frame. So again, we've been pretty heavy on that, but nothing like the confit. That we're going to leave on, we're not going to rinse it off.